The preseason has come to an end. The Browns end the preseason at 1 win, 2 losses, both by the skinniest margin. They lose them both by 1 point. Wipe all of that off. And the thing that everybody wanted to see on Saturday night was the unveiling of the starting quarterback, Jacoby Brissett. Remember, he hadn't played in the first 2 preseason games. And going out there just before he opens the season in Carolina, it was rough for him. Rough for the Browns offense. And it wasn't all on Brissett. There were dropped passes, there were mistakes, there were missed blocks, but Brissett certainly looked like a quarterback that hadn't played in a game for a long period of time. Now, I realize a lot of good things happen in joint practices against the Philadelphia Eagles, and a lot of good work, a body of work goes into play all during the spring and the training camp days out in Berea. But games are games, and remember, in September 11th, it's a game, and it's for real, and maybe Kevin Stefanski should have rethought the plan that he talked about, the strategy of what they were going to do to get Brissett ready. You have to think that maybe he needed a little bit, maybe a lot more playing time in these 3 preseason games, which are now gone as we get set for Carolina and the opening game. And he'll go into that game off a real rough and bumpy game here in Cleveland against the Chicago Bears. I mean, take the Bears, for example. Justin Fields played in every one of their 3 preseason games. Not great against Kansas City, just a little bit better against Seattle, but very good in this game against the Browns, throwing 3 touchdown passes. For Brissett, this was his first time out, and I think he needed a little bit more cooking before we head and take on Baker Mayfield and the Panthers. The Browns defense struggled, especially in the secondary, which seems to be a strength of the team. Those 3 touchdown passes were wide open. Those were snaps in coverage, broken plays in the back of that secondary. They're going to have to tighten that up. But remember who wasn't here on Saturday night. The Browns are going to be a run first, second, and maybe third offensive team. No Nick Chubb. No Kareem Hunt. They'll be in there against Carolina. No Joel Bitonio at left guard. Jack Conklin at right tackle. No Myles Garrett. No Jadeveon Clowney. The cornerbacks, Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, none of them there. So I'm not using those as excuses, but it is reality. But they will not be used as excuses in Carolina. They're all expected to be in there, and they're going to have to play much better than they did in this final preseason game against the Philadelphia Eagles. And oh yeah, Baker Mayfield threw 2 touchdown passes in the Panthers' wrap-up game last night against the Buffalo Bills, so he'll come in red hot coming into that game, and he'll be red hot anyway trying to beat his old team, the Browns. So the simple answer is there's a lot of work to do over the period of time by the time the Browns get to Charlotte and open up the regular season. First things first, the roster needs to be trimmed down to 53. And please, let's get some more help at wide receiver. And then we'll see as the Browns get ready for that opening game, which will have on it the most pressure that I can remember a Browns opening game since the Browns have come back in 1999 into the NFL. Don't panic after they lose to the Chicago Bears. Wait to do that on September 11th if things don't turn around. For WKYC.com, I'm Jim Donovan.